it happens. So we've been coming on the air a few times for this story because more news kept happening. So if you want to know when we're coming on the air, subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. Agenda Free TV, we cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda, whenever it happens. And you can see here, if you subscribe, make sure you turn notifications on if you subscribe. Like on YouTube, you got to click the notifications bell and choose all notifications. By the way, thanks so much to Rita and AM Coffee and Alexandra O. Thank you. Rita says, prayers for all these families in the Monterey Park community. Yeah, as I said earlier, condolences to the families of the 10 people who were shot and killed at this dance hall last night, and thoughts with the 10 who were reportedly injured, some very seriously. I hope they all make it. And thoughts with everybody in Monterey Park. Just terrible. Senseless. Let me thank our moderators. They have been with us through all of our streams on this night and day. So big thanks to our moderators. They are amazing. They're the reason that we can have chat rooms on this channel. So for example, people like Sarah55, Emily. We've had a lot of moderators in and out. Ruby Roo. Big thanks. Linda Belk. Kay Lowry Body. Margaret Riley. Thank you. Thank you, mods. Huge thanks. Over there on Twitch, A Moment of Lovely, Bastion Girl, I Got That Fire, Lemon is a Mood, Papa Bear, and Surly Div. Big thanks to all of our mods. And thanks Billy Joe Drage for the Facebook stars. I appreciate it, Billy Joe Drage. Thank you. And as I said earlier on the previous streams, if you saw donations pop up once in a while and you said, what's up with that? I do this full time.
Take Spirokid 77666. Test.
What's going on? Spirokid here. We'll begin Legend Dragoon in just a moment, but first we have some breaking news to tell you about that has been trending since early this morning here on the West Coast. 10 have been killed in a shooting in California, and these are the latest details right now that were just developing over the past hour. In relation to this, a driver has been found dead after authorities breach a van linked to the Lunar New Year mass shooting. This picture is of police saying this white van connected to Saturday night's mass shooting in Monterey Park during a standoff Sunday in Torrance. The driver appears slumped over the wheel. Authorities have breached a white van in Taurus that they believe is connected to the gunman who opened fire at a ballroom dance studio in Monterey Park on Saturday night, killing 10 people and injuring 10 others. Just before 1 p.m. Sunday, a SWAT team swarmed the vehicle and smashed its windows in the parking lot of Tokyo Central, a Japanese grocery store near the southwest corner of Hawthorne and Sepulveda, excuse me, I'm not saying that right, boulevards. At least 2 bullet holes have been visible in the driver's side window in the moments prior to their approach, and the driver appeared to be slumped over the steering wheel. Multiple law enforcement sources told the Times that the driver had died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna did not immediately confirm whatever the individual in the van was the suspected shooter. Could it be our suspect? Possibly, Luna said. But at this point, if we're doing our jobs correctly, we're not only looking at that situation or scenario, but we're making sure that we're looking at every possibility. The Monterey Park shooting, about 7 miles east of downtown Los Angeles, occurred on Lunar New Year's Eve. Luna said it was too early to tell whether the festival was connected to the shooting. Some witnesses described a white cargo van, which Luna said should be considered a van of interest. An advisory from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department identified the suspect as an adult Asian man, about 5 foot 10 inches and weighing 150 pounds. An image showed the man in a black leather jacket, beanie, and glasses. The mass shooting, one of California's worst in recent memory, happened at around 10:20 p.m. in the 100 block of West Garvey Avenue at Stardance Studio. When officers arrived on scene, they observed numerous individuals, patrons, pouring out of the location screaming. The officers made entry to the location and located additional victims, Sheriff's Captain Andrew Mayer told reporters Sunday morning. Firefighters pronounced 10 people dead at the scene, including 5 men and 5 women, Luna said. At least 10 others were taken to numerous hospitals, and their conditions range from stable to critical. About 20 minutes after the shooting, a male Asian suspect with a firearm walked into another dance hall in the neighborhood suburb of Alhambra, Luna said. South of Alhambra, Luna said, excuse me. Some individuals wrestled the firearm from him, and that individual took off, he said. Law enforcement were on scene Sunday morning in Alhambra at the Lai Lai Ballroom and Studio in the 100 block of South Garfield Avenue, about 2 miles north of the Monterey Park shooting. It was not clear whatever the police activity at that site was the incident referenced by authorities. A handmade sign affixed to the front door said, "Closed in observance to Stardance tragedy," in red marker. Officials are still working to determine whether there is a connection between the two incidents. Wang Wai, who lives near the scene of the shooting, had 4 friends who were at Stardance Studio on Saturday night, including his sister. He had been invited to go with them, but decided not to. Wai said one of his friends was injured in the shooting and was lying on the ground with blood on her face. The gunman was holding a long gun and appeared to be firing indiscriminately, Wai was told. The boss of the studio, referred to as Ma, had also been shot and was on the floor. She said, "Certainly, he was dead. He wasn't moving," Wai said. He wasn't sure about the condition of his friend Sunday morning or whatever she had been hospitalized. Wing Wan Choi, who owns a seafood barbecue restaurant on Garvey Avenue, across from where the shooting happened, said 3 people rushed into his restaurant and told him to lock the door. They said there was a man with a semi-automatic gun in the area. The shooter, they said, had multiple rounds of ammunition, so that once his ammunition ran out, he reloaded, Choi said. The shooting occurred near the site where tens of thousands had gathered Saturday for the start of a 2-day Lunar New Year festival, one of the largest holiday events in the region. Earlier in the day, crowds were enjoying skewers and shopping for Chinese food and jewelry. Saturday's New Year festival hours were scheduled from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monterey Park's 2-day Lunar New Year festival had been scheduled to conclude Sunday, but the day's events are cancelled out of an abundance of caution and in revenue for the victims, Monterey Park Police Chief Scott Wise said. The motive for the shooting remained under investigation, officials said, including it as a possible hate crime or domestic violence incident. I should note, a little while ago, they released a picture and details of the suspect who appeared to be Asian. So I'm not sure how that is going to be tied into the possible motive. This is a breaking news story, so details are fluid and they're expected to come together slowly. Everything is on the table, Luna said. Who walks into a dance hall and guns down 20 people? Hate crimes against Asian Americans in California have increased 177.5% in 2021, according to the California Department of Justice. Win Lai, 57, said she lives about 2 blocks from the studio and was in bed shortly before 11 p.m. on Saturday when she heard what sounded like firecrackers. She assumed they were part of a Lunar New Year celebration until she heard helicopters starting to circle over her neighborhood. she woke up early Sunday to check out the setup for the Lunar New Year celebration that had been planned for later in the day. When she learned about the shooting, Lyles said she is worried that the shooting could have been motivated by anti-Chinese hate, a fear she said that had been heightened by anti-Chinese rhetoric during the COVID-19 pandemic. This kind of thing doesn't happen in my neighborhood, she said, adding that she thought living in a mostly Asian community would insulate her from her violence. Starting to get worse and worse. This is a picture of police on the scene of the shooting at Monterey Park on Saturday night. It's from the Los Angeles Times as well. John, who declined to give his last name, lives near the shooting site. The 27-year-old got home to around 10 p.m. and heard 4 or 5 gunshots, he said. Then he heard police cruisers and smashing down the street. He went downstairs at around 11:20 p.m. to see whatever the shooting occurred at the festival. My first concern was I know that they're having a Lunar New Year celebration, he said. But he said he saw that the festival had already been cleaned up for the day when he arrived. He went to the scene of the shooting and saw one person being put on a stretcher. Another person had a bandage on their arm. Video on social media showed police and fire units swarming an area on Garvey Avenue and treating victims. The violence left many in the area stunned. Edwin Chain, a 47-year-old delivery dispatcher, rushed over from Woodland Hills to Monterey Park at around 12:30 a.m. after hearing the news. Chen said he grew up in the area and about a dozen of his relatives and friends lived there. He said he was sad that this happened just as the community was celebrating the Lunar New Year. This is supposed to be a happy time, he said. I want to find out as much as possible. Still shocking. Our hearts go out to those who lost loved ones tonight in our neighboring city, Monterey Park, where a mass shooting just occurred. Los Angeles City Controller Kenneth Mejia, the first Asian American to hold citywide office in LA, said on Twitter. Monterey Park, a city of 61,000 in the San Gabriel Valley, east of Los Angeles, is 65% Asian American, 27% Latino, and 6% white, according to census data. One of the anchored suburbs in the San Gabriel Valley, Monterey Park is a hub of Asian American supermarkets and restaurants. The Star Ballroom Dance Studio sits behind a Chinese herbal store along West Garvey Avenue. International ballroom competitors teach waltz, tango, and Chinese dance classes every day. The dance studio, which opened 30 years ago, offers party room rentals and karaoke happy hour as well. On Saturday night, the studio listed an event between 8 and 11:30 p.m. as Star Night $10. Dance instructor David Duval taught at the studio, most recently samba and tango on Thursday morning. He said the studio has Saturday night parties and that a lot of people who attend are older, 60s would be young. There's definitely going to be people in their 70s, 80s, people in their 90s, he said. A lot of people I teach are older people. I have a feeling it could be one of them, or people I know. Duval said he learned what happened Saturday night over WeChat. He reached out to his students, who was there, and hid under a table. His students said she saw a man with a long firearm. She doesn't know what he looked like. Duval said there are couples who have been going there for a decade or more. Many who are retired, some are in their 90s, and still dancing. It's old people dancing to music for fun. Their exercise, he said. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre tweeted that President Biden had been briefed on the shooting. The tweet said Biden directed his Homeland Security Advisor Elizabeth Sherrill Randall to make sure that the FBI is providing full support to local authorities, and to update him regularly today as more details are known. The shooting is one of the worst in modern Los Angeles County history. One of the last mass shootings of this scale happened on Christmas Eve of 2008 when a man dressed as Santa Claus entered a home in Covina, armed with 5 handguns. 9 people were killed in that rampage, including the gunman's former wife and her parents. The gunman took his life hours later. Other recent mass shootings in California include the massacre at a San Risto McDonald's in 1984, where gunmen killed 21 people, and the terrorist attack that resulted in 14 deaths in San Bernardino in 2015. In 2018, 12 people were killed during a mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks. Saturday's shooting comes 5 days after 6 people, including a 10-month-old baby, his 16-year-old mother, and a grandmother, were killed in the Central Valley farming community of Goshen in Tulare County. I hope we can make a determination as to whether this was a hate crime, Representative Judy Chu, Democrat Monterey Park, said, describing the new Lunar New Year as a time to celebrate with family. This tore a hole through all of our hearts. Anyone with information is asked to call the LA County Sheriff's Homicide Detectives at 323-890-5500. Anonymous tips can be made by calling 800-222-8477. And that is the latest from the Los Angeles Times. Once again, a very tragic, heartbreaking story out of Los Angeles. Torrance, California, where a driver has been found dead after authorities breached a van linked to a Lunar New Year mass shooting that has killed 10 people. And if there's any information on this is still a developing situation, we will let you know more about this. Alright, and now to our usual headlines. Up next is BBC World News Headlines.
Welcome, this is BBC News. I'm Kasia Madeira. Our headlines. Police in Los Angeles say they have a suspect described as an Asian male following a mass shooting at a Lunar New Year that's left 10 dead and a further 10 injured. Labour's calling for a parliamentary investigation into claims the chairman of the BBC helped Boris Johnson secure a financial loan while he was serving as Prime Minister. Some senior government ministers have defended the BBC chairman's appointment. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson makes an unexpected visit to Kyiv to show support for the Ukrainian government. He was invited by President Zelensky, whom he met with on the trip. And President Biden's personal lawyer says a further 6 classified documents have been found in the US president's home in the state of Delaware. The files were discovered during a 13-hour search of the property.
Alright, up next, in depth, US finds more classified documents in Biden's home.
The U.S. Department of Justice found more classified documents in a new search of President Joe Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware on Friday. A lawyer for Biden disclosed the fact in a statement on Saturday night, saying 6 items were found, including documents with classification markings. Some were dated from Biden's time as a senator, which lasted from 1973 to 2009. Others were from his tenure as vice president in the Obama administration. In a search that lasted more than 12 hours, Department of Justice investigators also collected some notes that Biden had handwritten as vice president, according to the lawyer Bob Bauer. He said the president had offered the authorities, quote, access to his home to allow DOJ to conduct a search of the entire premises for potential vice presidential records and potential classified material. It was coordinated with Biden's lawyers ahead of time, Bauer said, with his personal and White House attorneys present for the operation. The president and first lady were not present during the search. The document saga began in November when Biden's lawyers found classified documents in a Washington, D.C. private office used by Biden after his vice presidency. In December, others were uncovered in Biden's home. The 2 discoveries were separately made public this month. According to the White House, all of those materials were uncovered by Biden's lawyers. Based on information released publicly, Friday's search was the first time federal law enforcement have conducted a search for government documents at Biden's private addresses.
Alright, up next, also in depth, the killing of a Mexican reporter.
This is part of Mexico's interoceanic corridor, one of President López Obrador's mega projects designed to develop the south of the country. It includes work on a breakwater at Salina Cruz in Oaxaca. This coastal area has a reputation as a landing spot for precursor chemicals to make fentanyl and meth. It's also the backdrop to a news story about a local politician's alleged efforts to win re-election and the shooting dead of the reporter who wrote it. Mourned by his family, Eber Lopez Vazquez is one of 13 journalists killed in Mexico in 2022, the deadliest year on record for the nation's newsrooms. He'd published a story on Facebook accusing local politician Arminda Espinosa Cartas of corruption. Her brother was one of the 2 men arrested, but no one was charged over Lopez's murder. Espinosa herself did not respond to Reuters' requests for comment. Since Lopez's death, fellow journalists say they are more afraid to publish stories delving into the corridor project or ones touching on drug trafficking and state collusion with organized crime.
We'll keep on informing, but the most important thing is to stay alive. There are definitely issues you cannot address. You cannot address the topic of presidents connected to organized crime. You cannot address the topic of insecurity in the region of the interoceanic corridor. We all know the organized crime sells them the sand, the gravel, the rods, the cement. They are in charge of construction, of carrying the stones, of everything. You cannot address those issues because they could cost you your life.
Hiram Moreno knows the risks. He was shot 3 times in 2019 and now has a panic button issued by a government body known as the Mechanism, set up to protect journalists. But Moreno has little faith in its effectiveness.
The mechanism is not the solution to guarantee the safety of any journalists in Mexico. They have not done, and they will not do it, because there are elements and resources to do so. What the current government lacks is the will to guarantee the safety of all the journalists who are at risk. We are not special people. We are not agents of change. We inform. We are messengers. We are the ones who allow democracy and security to prevail, partially. In this country, there is no security.
Since 2017, 9 reporters enrolled in the Mechanism have been murdered, according to a rights group. An investigation by Mexico's Human Rights Commission found evidence of multiple failings by the authorities. Interior Ministry official Enrique Irazoque said the Mechanism accepted those findings, but he highlighted the local lack of action and political will. The truth is that the Mechanism is absorbing all the problems, he said, but the issues are not federal, they are local. Mexican politicians can also be quick to accuse reporters of corruption.
Muy hipócritas, muy deshonestos.
The president frequently chastises reporters who publish stories painting his administration negatively. He condemns the murderers while accusing adversaries of talking up the death toll to discredit him. The president's office did not respond to requests for comment. Since the start of Mexico's drug war in 2006, upwards of 133 reporters like Eber Lopez Vazquez are estimated to have been killed. That and the staggering 360,000 other homicides registered in that time is taking its toll on all Mexicans, according to Balbina Flores from Reporters Without Borders.
Society pays the cost. There is a society that gets used to a situation of violence and to feeling more vulnerable. The people in those areas say that if that happens to a journalist who works for a news outlet and who works to inform, what could happen to citizens?
Indeed. Alright, up next in health news, China pray for health in Lunar New Year as COVID death toll rises.
China rang in the Lunar New Year on Sunday, with its people praying for health after 3 years of stress and financial hardship under the pandemic. Queues stretched for a half mile outside the iconic Lama Temple in Beijing.
Sure, that won't lead to an outbreak.
Before COVID-19 restrictions ended in early December, with thousands of people waiting for their turn to pray for their loved ones, as officials reported almost 13,000 new deaths caused by the virus between January 13th and 19th. This toll added to the nearly 60,000 in the month or so before that. We need to work hard to solve these problems and keep going, said Beijing resident Gong. I hope we can have a better future and everyone can have a better life, he stated. This is the first Lunar New Year in 2 years without COVID-19 restrictions, and it sparked a mass movement of people. On the Lunar New Year Eve, more than 26 million trips were made by railway, highways, ships and planes. Half the pre-pandemic levels, but up by about 50% from last year, state-run CCTV reported. Celebrating with his family, real estate professional Guo Jin says he wishes for prosperous business, restored production, but most importantly, good health. We have a senior in our family. He is in his 80s. I hope he stays healthy, he says. As millions of migrant workers return home for Lunar New Year celebrations, health experts are particularly concerned about people living in China's vast countryside, where medical facilities are poor compared with those in richer coastal areas.
I just hope that they do get good health, because, you know, when you have a lot of people gathering and whatever in public areas, there's a risk that you could get something. Just so people know what they're doing. Okay, and last but not least, today in history for January 22nd, from the Associated Press.
January 22nd, 1973. In one of its most controversial rulings, the U.S. Supreme Court legalizes abortion in the landmark case of Roe v. Wade. Also that same year,
for in your time, we have the opportunity to move not only toward the rich society and the powerful society, but upward to the great society.
Former President Lyndon Johnson dies in Texas at age 64. Johnson's legacy includes civil rights laws, domestic programs such as Medicare, and an expansion of the Vietnam War that divided the nation. 1998, Theodore Kaczynski pleads guilty to being the Unabomber. In return, he gets life in prison without parole. Kaczynski's brother, David.
We are finally at a place where we can begin a process of healing.
1901. Britain's Queen Victoria, whose more than 50-year rule saw the British Empire reach its peak, dies at age 82. 1953, Arthur Miller's drama The Crucible opens on Broadway. Set during the Salem witch trials, the play takes aim at McCarthyism and the Red Scare of the 1950s. And 1968.
And now, folks, it's Sock It To Me time.
And You Bet Your Sweet Bippy, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, the TV comedy classic from the counterculture era, premieres on NBC. Today in history, January 22nd. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
And that is today's world headlines. Stay tuned after the break. We'll begin the Severed Chains project of Legend Dragoon.
A Russian
Don't go
mercenary
away.
group fighting in Ukraine, private military
Alright, I am back. Welcome, everybody. Just let me make a few adjustments here. My live box is a little bit off. My apologies, just a step here. There we go. Okay. So, last time we got through the nest of the dragon, and now we're heading to Lohan. Let me just get some music going, because right now the music is currently disabled.
JORKY6 GL BRB.
Hey, Jerky, how are ya? Welcome to the stream. What are you up to?
JORKY6. Not much.
Nice, nice. Just going over the Sarah Jane's beta once again. All right. Let's just go over some of the locations. Nice. Is there any point up here? No, I don't think so. They should put some chests up here. There's no point to this roof. have in here? See how the menu looks. Of course, Sean is not here. Can we sort? Ah, there we go. D button. Paint mail, 30. Put this on live, it's stronger magic. Oh wait, chainmail does stronger stuff. Okay. Oh, it's the S button. Okay. There we go. Ooh, Burning Rush. Oh, okay. The menu's a little bit confusing. Okay. I don't think I need items right now. Or maybe I do, not sure. Can't I go back for the volcano? I'll have to check later. People be nice. Legend cast course 10,000. Most overpowered piece of equipment you can find. Of course. And this is overpowered as well. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how all of this is rebalanced. Oh, right, this is not for Rose, of course. Damn. On the Dragoon mod, it's equipped for Rose. Poor Davis. Hey, that should be all the Stardust, I think. Alright, let's head out of here. Okay.
Whip smack.
Nice. Oh, right, I need the water. Actually, since I'm here, I want to see if I can exit through the back here.
Burning rush. One typhoon.
Oh, yes, we can. I do want to collect some items back here, so I don't have to buy them. Whoops.
Burning rush. Quick smack.
That's not empty, is it?
Burning rush.
There we go. And there was that open chest. Was there something in the dragon's nest? I can't remember. Let me double check. let's try the special. Oh, this works. Ooh, nice. Nice.
Stop. Burning rush.
Oh, this thing. Yeah.
smack.
One typhoon!
Nice.
Burning rush.
Let me try something. Wonder what happened if I would. Which. Oh. There we go. Oh. There we go. Let's see what happens if I do this.
Whip smack.
One typhoon!
Burning rush. Whip smack. Burning rush.
One typhoon!
Whip smack. Burning rush.
I believe it's this. Oh, it's 352. There we go. Alright, let's do this. After the... Meh! I'll just escape. Rose has got no patience. Let's go. Let's go. Ooh. Destruction. Nice. Nice.
Burning rush.
One typhoon.
Whip smack. Burning rush. Whip smack.
I have that song? Whatever.
Burning rush. Whip smack.
7つの海を越えて集い騒ごう常夏の島目指し誰にでも楽しめる日の出た日常をかけ
Burning rush.
泡立つ炭酸飲み干して今は起こる感情を解き放したら夕焼け空が熱を帯びていく
Whip smack.
みんなで踊り出そう太陽を示す僕らのコンパス辿ってゆけば
Captain.
Burning rush.
上げよう花火気持ち一つにして太陽は見繰り返
Almost dead.
Whip smack.
乗りこなして運命の楽園は今ここにある
Burning rush. Whip smack.
昨日を悔やんだって後のただ身を任せてみれば気持ちになって軽くしてくれるよ今にでも飛べそうじゃん
Ah, whatever.
山があるから旅人なんだほら雨さえもエネルギーに変えて笑顔を咲かせ踊り明かそう太陽を示す僕らのコンパス
Wind Blaster!
行けば自由になれるから共に打ち上げよう花火気持ち一つにして太陽は進み
Interesting that was voiced. I wonder if it has to do with Albert being a duplicate character. Nice.
Fun Typhoon!
Burning rush.
Victory!
Nice. 100 gold, 1,500 experience. Nice. Levin, Start, and Rose leveled up. Gust of Wind Dance, new edition. Okay, give me a moment here. One of this. No, not the right one.
Rithof Omega 666_ZGZ. Hey Spyro.
Hey Omega, how are ya? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good, just going through the Severed Chains beta once again.
666_ZGZ. I'm good.
There was a song that I know of. No. Oh yeah, Death Force. Right. That's the one. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's see if this would do anything.
One typhoon!
Oh, we got a few light bars.
Whip smack.
Shit. Okay, looks like I crashed it. Okay, I just gotta pass this along. Okay. Okay, just give me one moment. I have to report these bugs. Okay, I'm done reporting. Now I'm just gonna restart it. This may be a avoidable issue. It's gotta keep guarding, but if that still causes issues, then this playthrough left gonna pause temporarily. Okay. How do we get these menus? Oh, it's F11, excuse me. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Come on. Or is it this button? Oh, there we go. Okay. Combat. Okay.
Whip smack.
Okay, this crashed too. One moment here. Okay. So there we have it, I guess. That's as far as we can go for now. I'm not sure what Monoxide's schedule is. Okay, give me a moment here. Alright, and I got that. Got that to him. Oh dear. There's one particular one that stood out to me. The Monoxide here. I wonder if I could show it here somehow.